confidently. They are the first runs past mid-wicket. Mujtaba after it. And India are off the mark with 3. Beautifully played by Tendulkar. Should be runs there. It's past mid-wicket again. And India move on to 5. That's a fine shot through mid-wicket. Beautifully played by Tendulkar. And it's going to be the first 4 of the day. What a lovely shot through mid-wicket.
Sachin Tendulkar, when he really came on the scene in those, he was still a teenager, and my goodness me, he was a classy player. If ever a chap was destined to be the best player in the world, it was him. And I mean, I think that there's no one I know that I enjoy watching more than Sachin Tendulkar.
To their feet. What a brilliant shot. And what a start by India. 20 for no wicket in 4 overs. Akram bowling. And it's up in the air and he's dropped. He's dropped at first slip by Inzamam.
Oh dear me. Mr. Akram in Pakistan will be very disappointed about this one. It got very steep on Jadeja. And it appeared as though Inzamam-ul-Haq didn't sight it or something, or it flew more quickly than he anticipated. But he should have caught that. It did go straight to him.
And that's a great shot. And over the square leg fence, 4 runs. What a magnificent shot there. 27 for no wicket. And Tendulkar obviously showing his class and genius.
What a superb shot this is. The line was different. It was closer to him. It made the shot on, but didn't he pick it so brilliantly? And using the pace of the ball, that's gone many a mile into the stand. That's pure brilliance.
That's gone many a mile. That wasn't in the NCC coaching book. Just a couple. They want to keep Tendulkar on strike if they can. Yes, away it goes again.
Oh my goodness me, that's a glorious stroke, beautifully placed. 4 runs. It was written all over it from the moment the ball struck the bat.
That's a Rahman to Jadeja.
His first boundary. He's brought up the 50. Well, that's gone away over the top. It was a thickish top edge. It went fine of Raza in the gully, and that's 4 more. And Jadeja is getting a little bit of the taste of Tendulkar's stroke play.
Javed to Jadeja.
He's out. He's gone behind. You can see that one move. So the first word is down. Jadeja has gone. Caught behind there by Rashid Latif off the bowling of Aqib Javed.
Well, Jadeja opening the face of the bat to try and run it down to third man. This is the kind of shot which is played regularly in one-day cricket. It also gets you out. And the Pakistan is indicating that Jadeja should be walking back to the pavilion. India 62 for 1.
This again, yes, it was an obvious one that for umpire Liebenberg. He didn't, in fact, even have to put his finger up. The batsman just walked.
And that's hit over cover. It's going to be 4 runs over for 1, and the Indian support on their feet. And that's going to be 4. And this is exactly what we were saying, that this lapse earlier on could cost Pakistan a lot. No, it's a 6. The fielder there signalling that the ball just landed outside the boundary line.
Now look at that. He just wristed that ball. He did not give it a full swing of the bat. It was amazing that the distance that this ball travelled, just flicking it over mid-wicket for 6. I think that's the best way I could describe it.
And Atul Rahman doesn't believe it. Square of the wicket, brilliantly fielded by Ijaz, going across from point. Just the single, 74 for 1 at the end of the 14th.
Tendulkar on strike. Malik the bowler. Inzamam the fielder. And of course the Pakistan crowd hoping that Inzamam can produce something in the region that we've seen from Tendulkar. It's a wonderful strike, it's a long Wazim Akram, but he needed to be 20 foot tall.
Well, you see, that's what the problem with Pakistanis are going to face because of the 5th bowler. I think Salim would be well advised to see this not being repeated by Tendulkar again and again.
Sidhu. Scoring rate mounting again, well over 5 now, so that's the situation up to now. Jadeja caught by that wonderful catch by Latif back in Javed, but Sidhu taking over that role. But the main performer here on this stage being Sachin Tendulkar, 73 off 62 balls. Basit Ali takes the catch in the end of one of the finest innings we've seen in Sharjah. Sachin Tendulkar, a triumph for a real genius.
The Nelson has struck. The score is 1-1-1, and that in the critical term, the cricketers are a little bit superstitious about. So the wicket has fallen off Sachin Tendulkar. That's the delight from the Pakistani supporters. But what a magnificent start this young man has given to the Indians. He's a bit disappointed because the ball didn't come onto his bat. It hit the bottom half of his bat. He's looking at the bottom edge, but surely he deserves all the ovation that he's getting. And there he is, Atul Raza coming on to ball to Sachin. The ball not really getting onto his bat and scooping it high in the air, and the fielder making no mistake whatsoever.
So it's 110 for 2.
Lovely looking stroke. Aamer Sohail unable to stop it. Another single to Azharuddin. Raza to Sidhu. And to Basit Ali at long on, and another single. Slight misfield there. Sidhu didn't run that first run particularly quickly. Well, that's a nice stroke by Azharuddin, and that's going to go, I think, for 4. It does. That's the first 4, in fact, for some while. The end of the over, it's 128 for 2. Perfectly by Azharuddin. It was a gift, it was a long hop, and he hit it very hard, just to the right of Anwar Saeed. Raza did well to stop that, and I suppose might just have deflected the ball back onto the stumps and would have run Azharuddin out that way. But what an occasion this has been. A packed ground, thrilling cricket, wonderful innings by Tendulkar. It's got all the ingredients. Salim Malik to Azharuddin. Rahman fielding very deep, so 2 runs were always there. Sidhu giving it the charge, but not quite getting hold of it. What a good throw by Basit Ali.
Sohail diving to his left. The match in a very, very crucial stage.
India need to, what I refer to, milk the bowling now. There's only 4 inside the circle. That's the sort of example I'm referring to. And only Azharuddin can pick the ball from that line and fetch it behind square. The top bowling, Keep Javed. 4.2 runs per over, and after Rahman going for 7s, he was the most expensive.
Short, and it's going to be a 6 over mid-wicket. 156 for 2 in the 31st. Ball magnificently off the back foot, over mid-wicket, into the crowd.
Watch out, Azharuddin has to get down low. He bends down to get under the ball, down on one knee, because the ball not bouncing very high here. He knew it was short enough. He also knew that there was a boundary fielder to hit it over.
And he's gone, caught an extra cover by Inzamam. The half volley and straight to Inzamam, and this time Inzamam making no mistake, and Malik gets a wicket, and the Indian captain is back in the pavilion, and the game swings to an even keel.
Little waste there. Looked as though Azharuddin had played some big shots earlier in the over. He was being tied down a little, and having just hit Salim Malik for 6, he tries to hit it over extra cover straight to Inzamam, and so India out, Azharuddin out for 29 from 35 bowled, 156 for 3.
Go through for a single. Is fielding by composure.
With the right-hander now on strike, Sidhu, he changes over.
Glance down very delicately. Akib labouring after it. He will not cut it off, and it's going to be 4. Yeah! Oh, he's got stopped. Is he? There's an appeal, and Sidhu is standing there.
They've asked for the 3rd umpire. Let's see, I think he looked out from here. Oh, yes. Too late in getting the bat down.
The amber light saying, wait a little, wait, and an agonizing wait. The 3rd umpire in question. There it is again.
Frame by frame. Let's watch in his gloves, and the bail's off there.
Yes,
and he's
gone,
out.
and yes, he's gone. He picked it right.
But what a waste there. 164 for 4. That's a bit of cricket from India. Kambli content to just push it down to a single.
Sidhu on strike, he's on 40. That's a beautiful shot. Just watch the flight of it, clipped it off his legs. 4 balls for Sidhu, and it's 179 for 4. He's out. That's the end of Kambli. Raja takes it. And there's a very happy man, Atul Bedade.
Yes, and he has every reason to showing his delight after taking that catch. And this is what.
It's 179 for 5. So the wicketkeeper comes out. And he's got some work to do. He's here because of this. He took it at the second attempt.
Yes, that's why he's here. And Akram Raza, although fumbling, but managing to hold on to it in the end. It was really a nothing shot because he was playing far away from his body, playing it in the air. It wasn't close enough for him to beat the closing field there.
Single. Interesting that the run rate is now below 5.
That was a suicidal run. There's no way, any justification in that. He's not even in the frame. And the only way he would have survived if Aamer had missed that shot. That's lack of experience.
187 for 6.
Yes, they did. Look at the score. Top 4 batsmen getting it and really giving India a flying start. And the others are just throwing their advantage away.
Sidhu goes, and now there is a crisis on, and well done Pakistan. He goes for 47, 187 for 7.
That's a good enough stroke, just the single. Asif Mushtaba, we haven't seen much of him. This hits, it could be out. No, Aamer Sohail lined it up, but didn't hit the target that time. And here's Aqib Javed. Well, Kumble's got a run. The inside edge past the off stump. The classic Chinese cut. It's a nice stroke.
Seemed to have forgotten was the fact that Saeed Anwar throws with the left hand, so when he was running towards the ball, he was running with his throwing arm in position to hurl it back, and India have lost the run out 197 for 8.
It's come around the wicket. Pick outside edge, a perfectly safe shot. 1998, 43rd over.
Challen playing a long way from his body. After all, he does bat well down in the order for India. And the expectations now for India cannot be great.
So with that single, it's Kambli to face. Full toss once again, the attempt of a Yorker, Mujtaba the fielder. Man who returned to run out the previous batsman. 200 for 8 coming in the 43rd over.
And look at that downward slide of India's performance there. They're playing largely themselves, but a good performance from Pakistan.
Short and a magnificent shot, could be a 6. No, for first bounce. Lovely shot, beautifully hit, and that could be a 6. The umpire waits, and yes, it is a 6. Straight over the bowler's head. What a lovely shot, 218 for 8.
I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with this one. See how the front foot went outside leg stump, and he got the right shoulder into that one and launched it just over mid-off. And that'll be one that he'll remember and prize.
Jahan still facing market there. That's another big hit. And is he out caught magnificently? Yes. Saeed Anwar takes it.
How unlucky for Chauhan. One of the great catches.
Straight to mid-wicket. Sohail the fielder, and it's 218 for 9 at the end of the 46th. It's a fine shot.
Possibly 2 runs there. But Srinath just a little reluctant to come back for that second one. So the field with Anil Kumbli on strike, 3 in the covers. This one on the onside side.
The stump cartwheeling through the air, and it's all over.
And so India is all out for 219. Pakistan will come out shortly in the quest of 220 for victory.
Well, the Indian batting was put under pressure by Pakistani bowlers. Only 2 worthwhile contributions in that batting order. Sachin Tendulkar making 73 from 64 balls and Navjot Sidhu 47 from 68. The other didn't really feature, and Indians were all out for 219 in 46.3 overs. The Pakistan bowling was generally good. Wasim Akram picked up 1 for 36, but 2 for 41 by Aqib Javed was probably the best bowling performance by a Pakistani bowler. Salim Malik was a surprise package, 2 for 49 for the Pakistani captain. So Pakistan set a target of 220 at 4.4 runs per over. Let's have another look at some of the scintillating shots from Sachin's 73 of 64 balls.
Played away to deep square, leg on the onside, and they've gone through for 2. More runs there. This time it's through mid-wicket. He just leaned into that, and with the movement, rolled his wrists and played it away deep, and they've gone through for the 3rd.
Again, beautifully picked up with his legs by Vinod Kambli. And that's 4. Two more, end of the over, 17 for no wicket. Again, too much on the ball, and away it goes. Perfect timing, 4 for Saeed Anwar. Oh dear, oh no. Now that really hurt. Just got caught in the foothold there. Oh! He's got him! Or has he? No ball called. Well, everybody thought, I don't think anybody could hear it. Kambli diving, a wonderful catch. But no ball scored. That's well timed, it's through. And Sohail has his first boundary. He's given him the charge. What an enterprising young man he is, Saeed Anwar. And the cheek of it.
Remember to Saeed Anwar. Just like a left-handed Tendulkar with sparkling stuff, 4 more runs. Easier shelling peas, isn't it? Walking right across outside the off stump, playing it down to the backward square leg boundary with perfect timing. And that's the sort of stroke that when you're really on song you can play and get away with.
He was asking for it,
Well, you can see the jubilation in that. 3 out to Sohail. Just the single there, but Pinto's at third man, and even Azharuddin couldn't get down for that one. It went away so fast to his right. Well, I mean, that one has gone away for 4, but from way outside the off stump, he got the inside edge on it. And, well, it doesn't matter how they come as long as they come.
It's 52 now, Henry. That foul brought the 50 of the innings. And I think Srinath bowling around the wicket to the left-handers obviously is not used to bowling to left-handers and is unable to get a proper line and length.
That's the outside edge this time, and it's 4 more. Well, when luck is running your way, you can get away with murder.
Behind the bowler, he sweeps and sweeps fine, and that's going to be 4. Bowling round the wicket, and lofted in over square leg, and we'll have to wait for the umpire signal. It's a 6. What a magnificent shot! Amazing, and brings the crowd to their feet. Look at that shot, beautifully timed, and into the crowd it goes first dance.
And just helped it on its way, really. It looks ever so simple, that shot, and yet it carries all the way for 6. And Saeed Anwar continues to run hot.
70 in over. And he sweeps again. It's flying. But Bedade will cut it off. It's a leg by 71, and the interesting feature here is that the scoring rate here is almost 5.6, and the other batsman, which is Aamer Sohail, has only got 15. Stands in the way quietly, and that is his 50. A brilliant 50, a scintillating one, and innings studied with the most magnificent of shots, very entertaining. Driven through the colours by Sohail, so he's joining into the fun now. 4 runs to the extra cover boundary.
And that's Kambli. He's in front of square rather than behind, which is orthodox.
He's gone. Bowled round his legs. So the first wicket has fallen. Sohail trying to sweep, bowled round his legs, and breakthrough for India, excitement for their supporters.
Just on to his stumps there, and so Sohail has gone 77 for 1. Here's the dismissal, Chowan around the wicket. Sohail just not covering it with his pad. It took leg stump, trying to sweep it fine, and paid the penalty.
Ambles across as Sidhu fields. It's a big hit, could be a 6. And it is. Over the leg. Saeed, having waited long enough after the dismissal of Sohail, came down the wicket and magnificently hit him for 6.
Well, any thoughts that we had that Saeed Anwar was going to curb his flow of runs was dispelled with that shot. And that's a magnificent stroke.
Zaman facing Kambli. It's a quicker one. There's an appeal for LBW.
That's that quicker ball. I think it's going down leg side, though. We'll find on replay. Wide of the crease, Kambli. Angling in, pitching off, hitting in line with leg stump, but missing. And you saw Mungia going down the leg side. And that's where the ball was headed.
catch, simple catch. Not Mondia ball to harm. 89 for 2, Pakistan.
Low that kept. One more. Shoot out the fielder. End of the over. 97 for 2. Just a single. So you can see how Pakistan's run rate, just like India's has, slowly decreased as we've gone through. Saeed really putting through the mill early on in the first 10 overs. Since the spinners have come on, a couple of wickets, different there.
Basit Ali there, looking a little bit concerned. And Saeed Anwar has been rather marooned since that first wicket fell. And that's the 100 out, by the way, the prolonged applause.
Well, I think the umpire didn't have much difficulty simply because the ball went through his front leg. It was in between his right thigh and the left leg.
Isn't it intriguing, this marvellous game? As it off the mark, that was a nice controlled stroke. Sidhu, the fielder, at long on. Tendulkar, Salim. So, the end of the over, 25 have gone, but therefore we're at the halfway stage, and it's 113 for 3. Well, I say, that was a little luck. It's going away towards the boundary. It's Chauhan there, he's going to stop it.
Which they should avoid. That ball outside the off stump, and an indiscreet shot there by Basit. Risky turn down to deep square. The fielder after it there, which is Kambli, and that's 2 more to Basit. 127 for 3. Straight back to the bowler.
That may have carried. We'll try and get a picture of that from side on. Bhupinder looking for the return catch. And, oh, I think a more flexible man may have got down to that. It's hard when you're following through, though, as a bowler. It's hit in the air back, and Bhupinder just not able to get his hands underneath it. A half chance at least.
Splendid fielding right the way through this day from both sides. A lot of commitment in the figures. Chauhan 3 for 35. He's just bowled his 4 overs, so 6 to go. He'll be on pretty shortly, in that sense. That's beautifully placed. 4 more for this wonderful bowler, Basit Ali. End of the over, 56 for 3. Single. That's all they need at the moment. Just that and maybe the occasional 4. Probably going down, I think, going down leg side. Well forward, not out, 166 for 3. So Basit Ali on strike. Sweet up the ball. Finished as we just unbelievable what happened in those last 2 or 3 balls. Certainly the trigger was pulled, and they have self-destructed to a certain extent.
It did appear in the Pakistanis believe it's a 40-over game, certainly the way they batted in this over. But good catch there by Azhar to dismiss the Pakistan captain. Pakistan have lost their 4th wicket to 171.
Srinath taking the wicket of Malik. Asif Mujtaba, the new man. Outside edge, and it's gone through for 4 down to 3rd man, but Srinath wondering how close it must have been. It's gone for 4. A difficult shot to the strike. Gone through for 1, that could be close if it's a direct hit. Hits the batsman. Sid. There he is. Played a good innings. 181 for 4. It's through the covers. They could get 3 here. They decide against it. And wisely so. That was a wonderful return from Kambli straight into the keeper's gloves. Had they gone for the 3rd, it would have been close.
Yes, here we'll see Kambli covering a lot of ground with very strong arm. Excellent throw there.
Full toss, just turned away riskily to deep mid-wicket. And we take the single, no risks. 186 for 4. Srinath again. Kambli the ball. Saeed Anwar, green shirt. It's a brilliant knock today. Absolutely magnificent. 72 he got.
Yes, I think he has just snatched that Shell's fastest 50 so far from Tendulkar, who was winning it with 42 ball 50, where I think that was 39.
Jadeja. There's an appeal for a possible run out, and they've gone through for 1. Brilliant return by Jadeja. We're still waiting for the 3rd umpire to adjudicate. Can you see it again? The ball nearing the stumps, and his bat crossing the crease before it hits the stumps.
Yes, comfortably.
And he stays. That was a brilliant return. He answers that one, and it's gone for 4. And that is his 50. Superb 50 from him.
Mujtaba just giving Basit the strike with that single, which is really what he's got to do. Well, that's gone away now for 4 runs. That was a fine throw. It done for his 4 runs. And a ticky-tack welcome for the Bulls. Full toss. And that is dropped in the deep. It was the fielder there was slow coming off the boundary. That was Bhupinder.
Oh yes, in fact he got there in the end to catch it, I think. And that was a really reckless shot from Basit Ali. And let's watch Bhupinder stretching forward for it, and
Well, that's a lovely stroke by Basit Ali. Off drive, a fine pedigree, that stroke. And the Pakistanis in the crowd, the Pakistani supporters, really in 7th heaven now.
Ferguson.
Well, Saeed Anwar was phenomenal. 71 from 69 balls. Aamer Sohail went early for 20, and then Basit Ali getting 75 with just 77 deliveries, and that meant that Pakistan got to that total that was set to them by the Indians. They were 223 in the end after 44.3 overs. Well, the Indian bowling, not a lot to talk about. Srinath 1 for 50.
You want the touch? I want the touch the fielding. Why is that? Well, I think it's very chase in the area because however bigger total you can get, but it can be chaseable in there. So that's the only reason. And then we've done well against Australia, so that does prompt us to, chase.
What sort of total do you think you would like to chase?
Well, I think 250 or 260, we'd like to restrict them to as short a total as possible. But looking at the wicket, we have to really get those quick wickets early.
No team changes?
No, not at all.
Okay. All the very best. Thank you. Salim, so your batting, is that good news?
Well, like last game we played, if we did like that, I think it's a good news.
What sort of total will you tell your guys to aim at?
As many as we can.
Okay. 260, 270 maybe enough?
More than that.
You hope. Any team news?
We're playing with the same team.
Okay. Great atmosphere today.
Yeah, lovely. Nice day and good crowd. And I hope everyone enjoy the match.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Salim obviously hardly thrilled with the idea of batting first, but in the first 5 he has the best batting lineup in the world. No changes mean he has Akram, Rahman, Akif Javed and the off-spinner Raza as his main bowlers. The fill-ins will be Malik himself, Asis Mushtaba, possibly Sohail. India's main bowlers Srinath, Venkat Prasad, Kambli and Chauhan, with Tendulkar and Jadeja sharing the 5th bowling spot. Their top 6 batsmen, a frightening prospect for any attack.
And there's the first ball, and it's played to squarely. That's the first run for Pakistan. Kambli running across the mid-on, 1 for no wicket. That's a big outside edge, it's coming down to third man, it's 4 runs. Fine shot, fast bowler on the outside, it's going to be 4 runs to the long-off boundary. Bedade will not cut it off.
He's got that through. Kambli giving chase. Just a couple. That's gone again. This time, Kambli's got a stronger chase. He may just get there. But he's picking him up off his legs well. 3 more. But it's just flickering away. Thankfully, he's really moving into gear now. And the pressure is easing on Pakistan, I think. And even more so after that. Now Saeed Anwar takes up the challenge. Has 4 more. That's through as well. Jadeja giving chase. A couple. Tremendous excitement. And that's gone. Superbly timed. He just leapt on it and away it went.
You'll see Aamer Sohail coming forward, but it wasn't hit the half ball, it was on the top. That was definitely the best shot so far. Middling the ball and
That is quite extraordinary. He's been under the cosh.
put them lined up. Of course, the supporters both
pressure on his face and his reaction in taking that wicket. So Pakistan now lose their fourth, 149.
2 years to Basit. It's a good stroke and he's 4 runs. He hit that one perfectly. It really was a good sweep that by too much. And a lovely shot there. It could be 4 runs, but Eddie got off just inside the boundary line. And they go 2 for 2. He moved away past his up. And that's going to go. Most certainly, once again, giving himself room and lofting it over cover. 193 for 4 in charge.
Well, this is Basit Ali in through form. Smacking it. It almost went for 6. I thought it was going to disappear up into the stand.
Shot to play from the Pakistan point of view. A marvellous breakthrough for India.
When Pakistan were going along so nicely, we see a terrible slog like that from Basit Ali. But what a good hand he's played for his 50.
And the wicket has fallen.
Let's see on replay, it's full and wide. And he just angled the bat up rather than closing the face on it, and it flew with the pace of the ball from Srinath straight to Azhar. He takes the catch, and now Pakistan 219 for 60.
That could be more. The ball jumping quickly. Tendulkar getting to it. And it's through in. A dive could have saved it. Could be 4 runs. There's a fielder lumbering after it, and it's gone. About the batsman, he drives into the covers. It'll be just the single, and exactly 256 at the end of the 50th over. 2-5-1 to target. Saeed Anwar got Prasad bowled Chauhan 47. Sohail bowled Sid. Bowling figures: Cyril Lam 10 overs, no maidens, 3 for 55. Prasad 9 overs, 1 maiden, none for 45.
So far, Sharjah Wazim has been a little wayward, particularly in his opening spell. Up in the air. Basit Ali. What a start! Jadeja
of 56 comes to an end. 182 for 7 India.